Howdy folks, welcome back to World of Tanks with the mighty Jingles. So, to cap or not to cap? That is the question. And usually the answer is not to cap. And today I'm going to prove it. This is a tier 9 game. I'm in my M46 pattern. We're here on the Arctic region map. Which, funnily enough, in the game files refer to this map as the Mannerheim line. Which can get very confusing when you're trying to find your replays. They're not called Arctic. It's a tier 9 game, standard battle here on Arctic. I'm platooned up, as always, and an enemy T-54 is about to have a very, very, very bad day. And ramming speed! And then get out of the way so everybody behind me can shoot it as well. I took a lot of damage there, but it was totally worth it because it was funny. Now finish him off. Keep going with the momentum. This could have been a fantastic game. I mean, it was still pretty good, but it could have been great. I mean, look at all these tier 9 mediums. 2 patterns, a WZ-120, a Centurion. You've got to be shitting bricks when you see this lot come steaming around the corner. Oh, don't have a lot on that Lerva, just the front of his turret, and it's not going to penetrate. There are a couple of spots you can hit and penetrate the turret front of a Lerva, but you're never going to do it from 300 meters away, and you're never going to do it with the M46 Patterns gun. With this gun, you just count your blessings when you hit the target, let alone hit a weak spot. It's not particularly accurate, but it's good. It's punchy. You know, it has enough penetration that if you just hit the target, you're probably going to go through, as long as you're not aiming at things like turret fronts. It's certainly not a bad gun. Now, we know there's an Object 704 up around this corner, and I'm happy to take a hit. There he is. Oh, that was a low damage roll for him. Unlucky. Come on, boys, let's have him. We're going to make him the meat and the medium tank sandwich. Now he's screwed. Now there go his fuel tanks. Yeah, this could have been an amazing game. Wait a minute. Why is somebody capping? What are you doing? We've got them surrounded. It's the WZ-120. We've got them surrounded and outnumbered 2 to 1. We know exactly where every single enemy tank remaining is. We've got them pinned in. We can shoot them from in front and behind. And the WZ-120 is sitting in the cap circle. He's a 100% undamaged tier 9 medium tank. He could have already been there on the corner shooting these guys in the ass. And instead he's just decided, screw you guys, this game is over and I don't care what any of you want to do. And I just don't understand why you would do that. Well, I decided to investigate, and this sort of thing has been winding me up for a long time. The people who just cap, regardless of what else is going on, regardless of the situation in the game, you know, when you're having a fantastic game, when the whole team is having a fantastic game, and somebody just decides, game over, I am capping. And I've been trying to figure out why the hell you would do that. And the answer is apparently quite simple. You do it because you're a bad player and you suck. There's the WZ-120. He's a tier 9 medium tank. he did no damage. He only fired one shot the entire game, and he fired that shot from the cap circle, and he fired over Ike's M46 pattern. He nearly team killed Ike in order to take that shot at the Object 704, and missed and did no damage anyway. The only XP he got from that entire game was sitting in the cap circle and getting 72 base capture points. He got 352 XP for that game. Okay, let's have a look at somebody else who got more XP than him and also did no damage. The FCM-50T. Now, he didn't have a particularly good game. He only fired 2 shots. They both hit. They both penetrated. None of them did any damage. He only did 17 damage in that game. To me, that sounds like ramming damage. However, the 2 penetrations that he scored did appear to blow somebody's tracks off, because he got 350 spotting damage. Now, remember that spotting damage, the XP and credits that you get for that 350 damage done by other tanks is only worth 50% of the XP and credits that you would have got if you'd done that damage yourself. So we can say that, in effect, this FCM-50T only did 175 damage. That's less damage than one damaging hit from the WZ-120's gun, and he still got more XP than the WZ-120. So the WZ-120, who arrived, he actually started sitting in that cap circle when we were killing the Object 704. He could have already, by the time we turned around to go after the remaining enemy tanks, he could have already been shooting them in the ass. If he had hit, penetrated and damaged one of them with one shot, he would have earned more than his 352 XP. But he didn't do that. Instead, he ended the game early, and he sat in the cap circle, and he did it because he's a bad player. And I can prove it. He's fought more games than me. 11,687 games. He's only won, well, we'll call it 47% of them. That's pretty bad. His average experience per battle is crap. His kill to death ratio, he's killed, in those 11,500 games, he's killed 6,112 tanks, and he's died 8,358 times. He's done, in those 11,000 games, almost 7.5 million damage, but he's taken nearly 11 million damage. His damage caused to damage received ratio is almost 50%. He takes twice as much damage as he deals. And bear in mind, he's played more games than me, 11,687 games, and he's only got 6 Top Guns. 1 Mastery Badge. He sucks. He just sucks. He's a bad, bad player. But you can't say, Jingles, that this guy just goes for the cap all the time, regardless of whatever else is going on in the game. Yes, I can. He's only got 6 Top Guns in 11,500 games. But he's got 22 invaders. This guy sucks. He sucks because he goes for the cap all the time. Now, what I'm not doing here is sitting here telling you that you should never ever go for the cap. You should always try to kill all of the enemy tanks. It's usually a better course of action. But the trick is knowing when and when to not cap. And that requires that we do something that a lot of people aren't used to doing, and that's using your brain. And people don't like thinking because it requires effort. It means you have to actually look at what's going on your map and see how many tanks are left on your team and where they are and what sort of opposition is around. You have to actually think about what you're doing. People don't like thinking because it's a lot easier just to fall back and rely on stock rules like no cap, kill all. And I highly recommend people give thinking a try, because you'd be amazed at the results. You tend to lose less, or you don't suck as much in the games that you do lose, or at the very least you're rarely responsible for losing the games that your teams do lose. And you almost certainly wouldn't have to suffer the indignity of being shown in front of thousands of people on YouTube in a 100% undamaged Tier 9 medium tank in a Tier 9 game, with the opportunity to score monster amounts of damage at the undefended rear of a whole bunch of enemy tanks, and instead you decide to sit in the cap circle. So what we're going to show you here is an occasion when capping is absolutely 100% the right thing to do, and when going after all the enemy tanks, following the cries of the no cap kill all crowd, would be just as stupid as capping, regardless of whatever the circumstances are. We're a tier 6 medium tank platoon. It's a tier 8 game. We're here on the highway map. And we're just about to run into all the enemy tier 8 mediums and tank destroyers. Meanwhile, all of our tier 7s and 8s are about to get their asses kicked in the town by the enemy's tier 6 and 7s, and then start calling us noobs. Because this is World of Tanks. So we're going to have some good tier 6 medium tank platoon action going on here. I'm in the Sherman Jumbo, in case it wasn't obvious by the speed. Good frontal armour, not in a tier 8 game. Nope. Panther 2, and I've probably stuck around. He's not pointing his gun at me, I'll stick around and keep shooting. Oh, take a hit from the Panther 2. What I've got shots at. Yeah, I should be backing off now. And I took a second hit from the Panther 2. That I shouldn't have let him do that. But by keeping him occupied, that allowed another medium to sneak around on his flank. And that got him killed. So, Target 2 there are in some serious trouble. He's dead as well. Suddenly this type is just totally run out of friends. We absolutely kicked their asses over here. Now at the moment there are not that many dead tanks on either team. We're winning 5-3. But this is where you've got to start looking at your map and trying to predict what is likely to happen. Now the guys in the town are getting their asses kicked, and a couple of mediums have just popped up threatening the base. So that action going on just south of the green flag, that is the most crucial part of the game at the moment. Paying attention to the map reaps massive benefits. Under normal circumstances, I would be tempted to take a left turn here and head back up and start taking shots at the rear of those enemy tanks in the town. But we're about to lose everybody defending our flag. If we were to do that, we would get capped. Even though we're winning, we would lose because those tanks just south of the green flag are about to start capping. I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that there are no rules about when and when not to cap in World of Tanks. It's a constantly shifting, changing battlefield. And if you rely on rules like no cap, kill all, you're just as bad as those idiots who sit in the cap circle and go AFK, regardless of the circumstances of what else is going on in the battle. If you are one of those players who is always yelling no cap, kill all, or if you're one of those guys who just ruins everybody else's fun by sitting in the cap circle when we have clearly won the game, I recommend you try thinking. It is rapidly going out of style, but you'd be amazed with the results. You tend to suck a whole lot less. Take care on that battlefield, folks. I'll catch you next time.